Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Rush Racing League round number 17 at the lovely Silverstone circuit for Division 2. And yes, what a night it is going to be. I am joined here in the comms box by my favourite man, Rekus. Rekus, good evening. Looking forward to this one?
Oh yeah, of course, because Silverstone always provides a lot of action, and it is a full race distance this weekend here in Division 2. So we got 52 tours of the circuit. So these drivers are going to be driving right around 306 kilometers overall in today's race, but they got to all make it count here in this first qualifying session.
Yeah, definitely. And look at this. The battle is on. Yuki Bay, 234 points to Bevs, 261. Two drivers, one dream. It's going to be a fantastic night. I'm looking forward to it. These two have been at it. There is no room for, they can't make any mistakes here. It's gonna be great. And who's your money on it? You think this is gonna be close? Do you think this is going to be difficult? Like, how do you think this is going to go for these guys tonight?
Well, I think it's going to be both because, I mean, granted, Yuki Bear has been on some really solid performance as of late. I mean, he had a fantastic drive last time out, had the quality penalty to serve, and then got right up to the podium. So it's definitely doable, but Bevs has also been on some really solid form. So it's going to be easier said than done for Yuki Bear to go ahead and try to win this championship, but anything is possible in racing.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's going to be a great night, and we're going to do something a bit different for the one shots. We're not going to actually announce the results until the end of the stream. So we are going to jump back onto it in a second. But for now, just enjoy. And I'm just doing something because I know that the Div2 chat is going off at the moment. So we'll put that on there. Let's see how that goes. Done and dusted. And we are going to get away at a second. Now you can see in a second, mate. You can see in a second. We're going to do something different for a change. We're going to give everyone a little bit of suspense that they don't know what the result is, Regis. Because we saw it earlier on in Division 4. So let's go over to the paddock. Let's go live. Let's see what the results are. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get underway and get ready for
Very interesting.
And there you go. There are your results. Zenitsu taking up pole position. Lamb taking P2. Limitless taking P3. Bevs and Roller P4 and P5. One Truth in P6 with Matif in P7. Coda in P8. Yuki Bear in P9. He will not be happy with that result compared to where his nemesis is at the moment. We've then got Dante in P10. JF7 in P11. Aiden's Rain in P12. Wantanade in 13th. Dido in 14th. Chio Kevin 15th. Shifty Wizard in 16th. Not the best of lap times from him here. And Hato with that qualiban down there in 17th. So, some interesting things we've seen there and some interesting times.
Yeah, indeed. So, I mean, every single point is going to count, but we cannot discount Yuki Bear just yet because we saw last week how much he was able to claw through the field. And this track is probably one of the best tracks in Formula 1 to go ahead and make those overtakes. So, I mean, I think we can see Yuki Bear make some moves, but it is a long race. So these drivers need to go ahead and get strapped in, locked in, and ready to go because, I mean, it's a fun track. Everybody knows this track. It's probably one of the most driven tracks in F1, but still, it is 306 kilometers overall for this Grand Prix. So these drivers are in for a long one. We call these the endurance rounds for a reason.
Yes, they are indeed. We are about to get underway. I'm just finishing this message. Right, there we go. There we go, indeed. We're about to get underway, and I'm going to let you take this one away for the start. 52 laps around here. Going to be a very interesting night here. Looking forward to it, and going to be really, really good. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Over to you, Rekus.
All right, we see those 5 red lights going on. And it's lights out, and away we go. We are making our way down to turn number 1. A very good launch there for Zenitsu. He's ahead up into P1 at the moment. Seeing some positions change. Whiff and Coda switching positions. Quite a few position changes. And there's a Red Bull way off in the background. I believe that is Coda having a ton of... Oh, he got forced off there. There's a few cars with damage. I could have swore I did see a Red Bull with damage, but looking through the cars right now, no damage yet. Quite a few positions. The McLaren duo now up into P3 and P4. MJ Rolla into P3. The race winner from last time out, and there's a lot of positions being fought for here. And Yuki Bear, championship contender, is down into P16 as JDI goes off track there, turning his Aston Martin into a very expensive lawnmower. And we're only halfway through the lap, and there's already drama going on here.
Yeah, definitely.
We are just going through turn 9.
Yeah, we see JF7 having a massive mistake there. I'm just trying to see if Yuki Bear's got a bit of damage to that Mercedes there. Not the best of starts there for the two Mercedes down in P13 and P14. Trio, Kev, Coda with the worst start, and JF7 as well. Going up to the top though, look at this. Zenitsu in P1, XD in P2, Roller in P3. Look at that, McLaren on fire. P4, P5, a very, very good start there for Zenitsu and Lan as well. And yeah, look at that, soft, medium, soft, soft, medium, 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 soft, medium, 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 medium. And someone's into the bits already, JF7 calling it. 52 laps round here, a long night ahead, but Zenitsu is definitely not waiting around and wanting to pounce away already, Regis.
Yeah, indeed. Bit of an unfortunate start there for some of these drivers. I mean, we were kind of expecting a little bit of chaos in this race, but it's a long race, so these drivers really do need to go ahead and try to lock in and get situated. As we see Shifty get past Hato, now it's time for the other Mercedes. This is crucial because we only have about 3 rounds left to go in this championship, so every point is gonna matter. And if Yuki Bear, he's in the lower reaches of the points by Rush Racing League rules here in Division 2. But, I mean, considering his rivals up into P4, you definitely do not want to be in P14, especially with potential damage on the car. I don't see any end plates missing, but there could still be floor damage, possibly. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how this race plays out. But once again, it is a long race. There's still over 50 laps left to go in this Grand Prix, so drivers will have a lot of time to try to make up those gaps.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be an interesting night at the moment. And Zenitsu in great form. The guys on the softs deciding to go probably a shorter stint and then go longer stint on another set of tyres, whatever that tyre is going to be. We'll have to wait and see what the strategy is going to be there. But only 4 guys deciding to go onto the softs and obviously 1 onto the hards due to his obviously damage earlier on at the moment. Zenitsu 8.5 tenths in front of Roller. And then we've got Dale, Bevs, Lamb, Limitless, One Truth, With Matif, Dante, Aiden as Raiden, Dido, Watanabe, Shifty, Hato, Yuki, Coda, Triukiv, and JF7. And to be honest with you, it doesn't really matter how far away everyone is because it's such a long race. There's a 49 laps to go, so a long way to go at the moment, but a great start for the top 5, Regis.
Oh yeah, especially for the McLarens. The McLarens, I think, got a really good start here in today's race. They're up now. I mean, they had a pretty decent starting position anyway with P4 and P5. Now they're up to P2 and P3. So a double podium right now for this Papaya squad here. So they're going to really want to try to build on that performance. But also, for the most part, it is those soft tire runners kind of running away with this one. And these drivers were able to get those soft tires fired up in a good position. And now they're just maximizing the shorter tire life that these tires have. Now that's just the trade-off you get. It's with the mediums, you get better tire life. But with the soft tires, you get better grip. And especially through some of the trickier sectors, like Sector 2, then you really can benefit from those soft tires. So, I mean, good stuff from the McLarens. I mean, they also avoided that early lap 1 gaggle of cars that was kind of bumping around. And we saw the Red Bull, or one of the Red Bulls. Actually, yeah, it was Coda getting launched off earlier. So, a few drivers have been shuffled down, but I mean, if we're going to talk about drivers who have made their moves and talking about this championship battle here in Division 2, Yuki Bear is up into P13. Make that P12 as he just tries to get around. Wants an AB around the outside of turn 8. Let's see if he can hold it. Yes, he does manage to hold on to that position. So now he's going to try to work with his teammate to try to go up as many places as humanly possible and try to claw back some of those positions. He was in P16 earlier. Now he's up into P12 in about 2 laps time.
Yeah, Watanabe getting really, really squeezed there right at the back. Koda making a move there, and then Hado making a move, and Hado does get in front in P13. Watanabe keeping it pretty clean there. Very, very good driving. Koda trying to get the move done, ready to pounce. He obviously made a big mistake earlier on as 7 spots lost. And obviously Yuki losing 3, Shifty gaining 5 so far, so a great drive from him. Ronna gaining 4 in pole position at the moment. So we'll just jump back on board with that because he's actually taking the lead now from Zenitsu. And well, this is great. This is great racing at the moment so far. We've got a yellow at the back, and that's JF7. So he's going to try and push on as much as he can, but he is in a bit of a pickle. He's 37 seconds behind. Well, the leader. Interesting to see there, but let's have a look. Let's go back on to Roller. Roller and Zenitsu probably will switch to the DRS, but this is great. This is a great position for Bevs at the moment for this championship. Well, like we said, 3 races to go. We did see earlier on the graphic what the difference is between him and Yuki at the moment. So Bevs is in 3rd, Yuki in P12. Long way to go, though. Anything can happen in this race. We've seen a lot happen. Yeah, so interesting to see, but penalties will be the key here as well. A lot of penalties can be easily made in Maggots and Beggets and going wide into Cops and Stowe. So yeah, a long way to go, but so far pretty smooth at the moment. But there is a DRS gap from P7 to P6. So all the way down from P1 to P6 is the DRS train, and then P7 there is a gap. 8 there is a gap. Then there is a DRS train from Shifty all the way down to P15. So plenty of DRS trains here. As JF7, I think he may have side pod damage there. So interesting to see. But a few battles going on. Roller losing the spot again to Zenitsu. And I think that's what we're going to see most of this race. Just the switch of the DRS each lap and trying to pull away Rickers.
Yeah, these drivers aren't really in any kind of hurry at the moment. I mean, it's like you said, it's a long race today. I mean, we're only on lap 6. I mean, in a typical situation, you would potentially want to get that hurry on and try to get past and try to make moves. As we say, MJ Rolla in the DRS zone, making the move, getting into the lead of this Grand Prix. But we are doing a race twice as long as the regular status quo, and that's a bit of a moment for MJ Rolla. He goes off the track, losing several positions. I think he just got a little too wide on corner exit there. On the exit of turn 8. So, yeah, a bit of an unfortunate moment there. But that does bring Bevs up a spot, which is going to really help him in this championship battle as they're heading through the twisty S's here in Sector 2. Just before another DRS zone, which we may see Dale Bevs take the lead of this race. Gonna try to hook it around the outside. He's got the speed. Can he make it stick is the question, and yes, he can. The McLaren drivers are certainly on fire here today at their home track.
Yeah, definitely. It's an interesting part there. What MJ's done, he's then given Lamb the opportunity, pushes himself in a P4. A little bit of a mistake. That may be a little bit of a nose. We'll have to wait and see. There's Zenitsu into P2 now. Lamb into P3. Roller into P4. Limitless now will try and grab the back of MJ and try and get that position. Hopefully nothing was caused while he had that mistake. I'm trying to keep an eye out on the race, but I'm just going to jump on board with Limitless and give you a bit of an on board just to see what he can see in front of him. And yes, he can see the rear of that McLaren, and no moves at the moment, so just switching around, making decisions. Zenitsu going very wide there in that corner, and that's going to put him under pressure from Lamb. So yeah, we're not seeing anything at the moment. We are seeing these guys. Are they going to start to pull away? That's going to be the question, because with 1.2 still not in the DRS of One Truth. So if he gets into the DRS, then we'll have to wait and see what we're going to see next.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be, I mean, it is going to be a race of management I mean, we always say, you know, management, management, management. It's like one of our favorite words to use here. But especially in these endurance races, which to my, the best of my memory, this is the last one of the season here at Silverstone. I mean, but Silverstone is a track that a lot of these drivers are super familiar with. For some drivers, it may be a home race. I believe it's a home race for you, SJ.
Yep.
And it's a very famous track. I haven't really met any people that don't like Silverstone. I'm sure there's a few people out there that aren't a big fan of Silverstone. I personally do like Silverstone. It's a really fun track. Lots of good overtaking opportunities, but I think the mindset of these drivers right now is that they don't want to push too hard and kind of mess up their race, because it is a long way to go here in this Grand Prix. So they want to try to at least wait a little bit and try not to burn out these softer tires. Now, the thing that I am going to go ahead and note here real quick is that Zenitsu and Dale Bevs are both on that soft tire compound, and Lamb behind is on the mediums. So at what point do we start seeing the soft tires fall off and the medium tires come into their own and really start being the more advantageous tire in this Grand Prix?
Yeah, well, we did see Division 4 push around about 22, 23, and we were told that the hards are not the tyre here. They're too slow, so it looks like it could be a soft to a medium strategy as Lamb looking ready to pounce on Zenitsu on lap 8. Here we go, but he's got too much overspeed there, cannot get the move done, and he's now going to go right into the corner of Stowe. Going to go side by side. No, he stays in formation behind the Ferrari. Good driving there, the front 4. Now going into a front 5, I think it's actually a front 6, because One Truth has joined the party as well, and with Matif is actually falling back. He's 1.8. He's not actually gaining anything to the back of One Truth at the moment. So it was 1.2, now 1.8. So he's losing time, but he is on he's on his own there out there at the moment in that P7 spot, as we're seeing these guys really still push on, as MJ Roller tries to get the job done there on Lamb, doesn't get to the door slammed, and Lamb up into P3. So a nice little battle going on here with a mixture of tyres as well, Wreckers. A few guys on the softs at the front. We've got Roller in P4 on the softs, and then we've got the rest of the guys on the mediums. A little bit of a change there as well between Limitless and One Truth, but everything so far so good. These guys will know that they've got a long race ahead of them, so they know that they're going to have to take it easy. They're going to have to be calm. They're going to have to make good. Well, obviously, don't make any mistakes. Keep within the track limits. Don't get penalties early, and work with each other. Work with each other. Work away from the pack. And then, yeah, it's going to be an easy night. And until the last couple of laps till the end, that's when we'll probably see the big battles. But also the pit lane here. Silverstone is probably one of the biggest and longest pit lanes. So it's going to be very interesting to see when these guys do decide to make a move. As we've got a bit of changes there. A lovely move from Roller. I think he caught Lamb a bit of a sleep there. And Roller into P3. Got the move done very easily there. Now he's behind the Ferrari and McLaren back in P1 and P3. Massive result so far for Bevs, and massive result so far for McLaren for the constructors as well, but still a long way to go in this race.
Yeah, I know we've been talking a lot about the battle for the Drivers' Championship, but there's still battle for constructors, as MJ Rolla does get a little snappy there on corner exit. MJ Rolla, these soft tires might be falling away sooner rather than later here in this British Grand Prix. I did see a little bit of contact earlier with Zenitsu and Dale Bevs, although I think that was just a little bit of a touch and go. I don't see any damage on either of the two front-running cars, so that is always good to see. You love to see hard racing, but like you said, I fully agree. Now, the thing is that Shifty and Aiden are probably going to have to really work together to try to bring this gaggle of cars up to Whiff. Because right now Shifty is just about 7 seconds behind with Matif. So, and then if they get to that point, that's really going to help out Yuki Bear as well for this championship battle, because he has moved up quite a bit since his early incident. He's back to, I believe, right around where he started. Just checking that real quick. And Coda gets the first time penalty of the race. So that is, well, that's the first one. Maybe first of many. Hopefully not, but like you said, it is easy to get penalties on this track, and if Dale Bevs or Yuki gets a penalty here, it's going to mean a lot in this championship battle, as we're seeing Coda coming into the pits.
Yeah, and he's got a 10-second
And a
penalty.
10-second penalty for
And
speeding in the
I
pit lane.
think that may be a retirement. We'll have to wait and see. Here, will be a shame if he does. He's got an opportunity to still get into this race, but at the moment we've got a nice little battle still going on there at the front. Whiff has joined that battle now. Whiff into P6, actually overtaking One Truth, and we are now looking at a 7-way battle for P1. JF7 getting a penalty, that's a bit unfortunate there. Going a little bit further back down, we've then got Aiden as Raiden leading the rest of the pack from P8 to P9 to P10 to P11, P12, 13 and 14 of one time at the last car with a 4.32 second gap on Trio Kev. Sorry, a little bit of indigestion. But Shifty on the softs out of all those guys in that battle on the medium. So we'll look to see him come in early, and obviously Yuki will push on. So keep an eye out on the battle at the moment. 7 seconds between Aiden and One Truth, and obviously One Truth and Alpine, Aiden and Alpine. So Aiden could just hold these guys up and let One Truth have a very good, at least a 10-second gap in front. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. But no, the guys are still making overtakes. Yuki trying to make the move into the front of P8. He goes Shifty down there in P9. One Truth coming into the pits on lap 10. That is very early on medium tyres, I've got to say. Very early.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the strategy is going to be here, because the strategy is going to differ in this race compared to what we normally see here at Rush Racing League. Because normally we do those 50% races, which on most tracks and in regular weather conditions, you can get away with a one-stop strategy. Here, it might be multiple stops. But I think One Truth had to get a wing replacement as well, so I think that's probably why he ended up in the pits. Yeah, he did have to get a front wing replacement, so that explains the early stop. You could probably get these mediums to around lap 30 or so and still be just fine.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. 70 people tuning in. Thank you very much. It is a long night ahead. 12 laps out of 52. We've already seen one guy come into the pits already, and that was One Truth earlier on lap 11. Very earlier there on those mediums, but he's gone to the hards, and we did talk about that earlier on, didn't we, Rikus? You really want to keep away from the hards as they are pretty slow. So, yeah. Interesting night ahead it's going to be. We'll have to wait and see. Keep an eye on One Truth just to see how quick he picks up the time. Remember, he's 21 seconds behind Trio Kev, so keep an eye on that. Back up to the front, Yuki 9 seconds behind Whiff at the moment, nearly 10 seconds behind. That is a big stint to have. And yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle. But at the moment, these guys at the front just using each other, using the DRS, nothing too crazy at the moment. Everyone pretty close together, but it's a nice little battle here, this top 6.
Yeah, indeed. The one thing I do want to bring up with the tire management, though, is, well, yes, the hard tires are the slowest tire compound out of these slicks that are in F124. But also they are the tires with the best tire life. And if you think back to Interlagos a few weeks ago, I know I brought this up last week, but I mean, you had Jizzle, a Ferrari driver who's not here this time round. He went like 30-something laps on a set of mediums. Now, I do believe that F124 does try to adjust tire wear based on how long your race is. So if you're running a 25 distance per 25% race, 35% race, 50% race, and full race, your tire wear percentages will differ. But still, 36 laps on mediums. I think even in Monaco, the tires are falling away quite considerably after 36 laps. So you might be able to get these hards to the end, but the question is, how much are you going to go ahead and struggle on these hard compounded tires? As looking at One Truth here, it doesn't look like he's really picked up that much of the pace onto Triokev. Triokev doesn't have DRS. He might have made up about he might have made up a few tenths, but that's about it. And on a fresh set of rubber, you want to arguably make up about half a second per lap. And I'm not quite sure if One Truth is doing just that yet, but I mean, still a long race. So I mean, this might be the go-to strat, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, definitely, and all the guys are still just using the DRS. We're just on board with Lamb at the moment. Just doing the DRS train, really. Can't really do much. He's got obviously Roller in front, then Zenitsu, then Bevs, and then behind he's then got Limitless with Matif, and then obviously Yuki 9.6 seconds back from that DRS train. There, these guys saving up their battery. Got very good battery going into the Maggots and Beggars there. It's about 78% going up to 80. So plenty of battery, as you can see, that Roller is trying to harvest, and he'll probably make the move. Or Lamb will make the move. No, let's have a look here. Going to go down the outside. A little bit of an overspeed with the two McLarens. No, we'll stay in formation. Let's Zenitsu through and then stay into that B4. Very, very closely there. And they'll go again. But we'll go a little bit further back down and we'll look at Aiden's Maiden. Aiden's Maiden gaining on the Mercedes. No, those guys just working together, you know. He's Shifty dropping off. He's on them softs though. So question will be how long will Shifty be able to go on to them softs, and the same with the guys at the front, because then Lamb isn't going to be in the best position to take the lead of this race. So this is going to be the question, and will we see Yuki pit same time as no, well, we won't probably, because obviously Bevs and Roller are on two different strategies, so on the same strategy, and Yuki's on the completely different one with the same as his teammate, who's on another different strategy as well. So a lot of these guys, Mercedes going for a soft and a medium, and McLaren going for a soft and a soft. What's your thoughts to that strat?
I mean, it's a decent strat. I mean, you'll just have to be careful not to double stack your drivers. I do think that it is good to try to split the strategies, so you can kind of relay that information to your teammate on how the tire is kind of behaving on track. For example, Yuki can be telling Shifty how quick that medium is or how slow the medium is, and vice versa with Shifty with the softs. But if you run your both drivers on that same tire, you do run the risk of potentially having a double stack. And it looks like there might have been a bit of contact. There is contact between Lamb and Rolla. Yeah, now Lamb is missing that front right end plate on the front wing of his Williams. So that is unfortunate. So that's going to make his race a bit more difficult than it normally needed to be. But yeah, so like you said, there's a lot of different strategies going into play here. I think it's really just going to come down to how much the tires are going to be managed. Because we know the MJ and Dale, the McLaren drivers, are quick. Same with Zenitsu, same with Lamb. So all these drivers are very, very quick. But we'll just have to see how quick these soft tires kind of start to fall off of that cliff that we mentioned oh so many times over the season. So it's really just going to come down to management and how much of a beating these soft tires take in this stage of the race.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously the Mercedes are trying to pull in that gap of 9 seconds, but it doesn't seem to be working. It seems to be increasing. So this is going to be a struggle. This is going to be a big, big struggle for them. And the thing is Shifty, is he going to hold them up, you know, a little bit? Because on being on them softs, that'd be the question. Does Shifty then go behind Yuki and try and let Yuki pull everyone in on their mediums? You know, it's 10.1 now. Oh, as Lamb, we've got a bit of a situation going on there. Lamb has now dropped down into P5, so he's lost the front right plate. I don't know what's happened there. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if that has been done as an on board. I don't think it has. So, but I did see a yellow flashing there. So he's now down into P5. Limitless is into P4, but he's right behind Limitless. So he's still got a lot of durability and traction on that Williams with that damage. With Matif 5.5 tenths, just literally sitting behind, watching him, what's going on. He's in a good position. He's in the DRS. He's in the train. You know, he's got a 9-second buffer to him behind. 9.4 now. So we'll keep an eye on that, because if we then start to see that go to 8, then we then start to see a little bit of momentum gaining there from Yuki and the rest of the pack. At the moment, lap 17 out of 52. The guys are on 16 lap softs. We've only had 3 guys deciding to pit in the end. That's JF7, Coda, and One Truth. Obviously, JF7 due to damage. Coda due to damage as well. and then One Truth going in early on the 11 lap mediums. He's done 5. He's only 18 seconds behind Jokev, so he's made a little bit of time, but probably not enough. We have seen a little bit of damage here. Lam is 4.5 temps. He's still in the DRS train, but he has lost that front right plate. So he is going to have a long stint when he comes into the pits because he's going to have to change that front wing. That may hinder his race at the moment. 9.6, Yuki to whiff. That gap, is it starting to form? Here we go. We're starting to see Shifty now. He's down to 6.5 temps. Ainez Raiden ready to pounce, but then Dante's behind him at the moment. So there's a lot of drama going on here. And we've got Zenitsu going at Roller. Does he get the job done? No, Roller into P2. Zenitsu trying to get the move done. Roller looked like he made a little bit of a mistake there on the exit. And no, and now we've got Bevs out in front by a second. He's just dropped it under a second. Now it's down into 9.5 tenths. So, are we going to see the McLarens, start to work together, try and let Roller, let Bevs pull away a little bit, get in the DRS train, and then go for the double stack? What do you think is going to be the plan at the moment for the McLarens?
Yeah, I think they're probably going to put in MJ first to try to cover off anyone who might try to go for the undercut on Bevs. And then they'll probably pit Bevs in next lap. In regards to One Truth and Lamb, One Truth did have damage when he made his pit stop. He had to get a new front wing. And XD Lamb collided a bit when he was trying to fight with one of the McLarens a few laps ago. So that's how the Williams driver, who is currently sitting in a P5 at the moment, did lose that front right end plate. So, I mean, it's been a bit of drama here, like you mentioned. A lot of really good fighting, though, between these top 5. I mean, these top 5 were basically centimeters apart as they were going into the second to last corner here. Or, sorry, going into turn 16, the final little chicane before the start-finish straight, or known as the Hamilton straight, since 2021 onward. So, yeah, we're seeing a good amount of battling here, but Dale Bevs has dropped Zenitsu from that DRS range. He is now over a second away. So that is going to put Dale Bevs in a very good spot for the rest of this race. Now, Yuki Bear is doing damage limitation, but once again, I think the Mercedes duo just not quite catching up to the Sauber of Whiff. Now, Whiff is in DRS, so it's making that a bit harder than normal. So you got to rely on pure race pace instead of just relying on DRS. As Draco and MJ go wheel to wheel now, battling it out through turn 7, going into turn 8, with Draco getting onto the gravel a little bit there. We'll see how the rest of this is going to play out. Can XD Lamb capitalize on it? I don't think so, at least not yet. Although that damaged front wing is going to make things a bit trickier for the Williams driver. But it is still only lap 19 out of 52.
Yeah, definitely. I'm seeing here it's looking likely to me. It looks like that the softs are starting to struggle, especially on Roller's car, because Limitless is really pushing, and he looks like he's going to get the move done coming out on the outside. Nearly tries to, squeezes around, goes for the undercut. Is he going to go in? No, he doesn't. Stays out again, so goes until lap 19, and we're now starting to see a little bit of a gap here as well, starting to form between Bevs and Zenitsu, still within the DRS train of 1.0.6, so he's at the DRS at the moment. Roller in 6.5 tenths behind Zenitsu, does not want to lose that DRS. Go a little bit further down. Shifty now in 7.9, so they are making a little bit of a dent into that time. It went from 9, now it's down to 8, and it's very, very close to the 7 as well. So they are closing, but the thing is, they're bringing Aiden, Ado, Dante, Dido, all of those guys into it, as Wonton has fallen back now. He's 4.8 seconds behind. They're bringing in a big train of other cars as well, and Dido doing a great job from Div 3 up into Division 2 tonight, so good on him. Good to see Dante in the car as well, in that P11 position. But yeah, so far so good. They're making a dent, but is it enough? Is it enough? Lap 20 out of 52, and they're 7.9 seconds behind, and his teammate in front is going to have to stop first. So I don't know. This is going to be very interesting. Limitless is still trying to get the move down. We'll just jump on board with Limitless and just see the bit of grip that he's got. As you can see, Roller's got near enough the same amount of battery here, but Limitless is going to make the move going into Stowe. Doesn't look like it, no. Stays in behind. They're really, really working together and staying within formation. But these guys are really pushing. 19 laps on the softs. It's a good stint. I think we're going to see at least 21, 22 on these softs, Vegas.
I was actually just going to predict that Shifty is going to come in, and sure enough, Shifty is into the pits now on lap 21. So it is going to be an interesting strategy call here, but I mean, like you said, those soft tires were definitely on the end of their lifespan, so it's going to be good to see. He's going to pivot to the mediums now for Shifty Wizza. So he's going to come out behind Trio Kib, and like you said, this is a very long pit lane. So we'll just have to see how this all plays out. But yeah, it's an interesting one so far. I think strategy is really going to play a huge factor in this race. But the one thing is that Yuki Bear does lose that draft partner that he had with his teammate. So everybody else is going to go ahead and try to fight him tooth and nail to try to get that P7 spot off of the championship contender at the moment. So, but when are these top three gonna pit is gonna be a very big question, because I mean MJ is fighting that papaya car as they go down the hangar straight, getting ready to go into Stowe. Zenitsu get past Dale Bevs to retake the lead of this Grand Prix, and I thought MJ was about to take it too. And okay, Dale Bevs is actually in, so Bevs is going to be the first McLaren to make a pit stop. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I think that's a good situation there, because he knows that he was leading the race. Well, he was just about to lead the race. Roller was struggling, but Roller will push on now. And yeah, and so the interesting thing is Yuki will know that. He will know he's into the pits, but he's 10 seconds. He's not made any more time. He's actually dropped. It's actually, well, he's 8.5 now. I do apologise. 8.5. So it's in that 8.5. And the question is, if Aiden does get the move done on him, that's going to hurt him if they don't work together, because Aiden is right behind him on the same amount of tyres. So Bevs now drops down into P13. He is 25 seconds behind the leader, right? So yeah, and Roller's in a great position, because Roller could hold up the pack at the front, so Bevs can catch up and make a few more spots. So this is going to be all about pit lane strategy now. When do you think we'll see Roller in? Will we see both McLarens? As we're seeing a safety, as JF7 is flashing, it looks like he is going to get lapped, unfortunately. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it does look like he is going to get lapped, so we'll have to wait and see here. He's trying. He's doing as best as he can. But these guys, he may not. These guys may pit before they do, but there's three going wide. We got two, we got Limitless going around the outside, and it's getting a little bit interesting now. Roller back out in front, keeps that position. Limitless into P2, and then we've also got Zenitsu coming into the pits. Zenitsu gets a 10-second speeding in the pit lane. And Silverstone's done it again. People really need to be careful. Now, where is Bevs going to come out? That's going to be the question. Bevs is now coming round into Stowe. Zenitsu is into the pits. P5 I think he's now coming out of the pits. Let's have a look. He's in P10 now, coming down the main line. Dale Bevs now. He's coming around the final corner, up the straight. Is he going to be able to get the job done? Let's have a look. Zenitsu looks like he's just about to come out to the pits. I think he's going to keep the position. No, he's not. Let's have a look. Here comes Bevs, and there you go. Look how close it is. And Zenitsu just comes out behind Bevs, and Bevs keeps out in front into P11. So it just tells you how close it is between the undercut and the overcut there, between the two, between Bevs and Zenitsu, I guess.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, Bevs did pull off the undercut very, very nicely. The thing is with the undercuts, you really got to make your outlap count as well. So obviously the in-lap is pretty important, but the outlap is crucial with these undercut strategies. And Dale Bevs, current championship leader and championship favorite at the moment, he definitely made that outlap count. And as we see, Limitless getting past MJ Roller. Lamb also, despite the fact he's still running that front wing damage, Lamb is currently up into P2. Now MJ does go ahead and make his pit stop. Yeah, I could definitely tell that those soft tires were definitely begging for the sweet release of a pit stop. So good on him for getting the pit stop done. And that he is actually the last of the soft runners. And now everybody is on that medium tire or the hard tire compound. Now, it's very unlikely that these medium tires will get these drivers to the end. So if they are going to make another pit stop, what lap are they going to make it on? And are they going to go ahead and throw back on another set of soft tires? Because I think they will still have another set of soft tires still available to them. Or are they just going to chuck on another set of mediums? I think they'd probably put on another set of mediums, but there might be a few teams willing to risk it for the biscuit here when it comes to strategy, especially because it is so late in the season and all these points are going to matter for drivers' championship standings, constructors' championship standings, overall standings. So yeah, there's just a lot in play here for these drivers as we get closer and closer to wrapping up the season here, and then also wrapping up our time with F1 24.
Yeah, no, it is coming close to the closing stages of the game. One more race for Div 1 next week. But these guys have got 3 more races after that, and the big one is the mystery, which no one has any clue where it's going to be. But we are here at Silverstone for round 17. Limitless Draco is taking the lead of this Grand Prix on those 24-lap mediums with Matif in P2, Lamb in P3. What a result for these guys. Lamb deserves a very good finishing here. He's had a very difficult season with connection issues. We're going to go a little bit further back down to the bottom. Shifty Wizard down there in P15, and a 7-second gap between One Truth and Triokev. So that just gives you. So they are 9 seconds behind Roller into P12.
Yeah, that's quite a.
That is a big gap.
That's quite a gap.
That is a big undercut there. So Hado putting the pressure on with Yuki Bear there. Yuki into P4. Bevs in P9. Remember, these guys got a pit. And Bevs is only 9 seconds behind Dido. And putting that gap in pretty fast. We'll have to wait and see. The lead, he's 21 seconds away. So I don't know how long. What is the loss of pit lane here? Is it 28 seconds as we do have yellows? JF7's gone off the track, and I think he may retire because he looks like he could get lapped. 28 seconds. There you go. 28-second loss in the pit lane. Incredible. That is incredible.
Yeah, that's quite a considerable amount of time. Now, something we haven't quite mentioned yet. We've gotten close to it a few times because we've had yellows on the track. But a VSC or a full course safety car is going to really throw a wrench into the strategy play. And I can promise you, if we see a safety car, everybody that started off on these medium tires or on these hard tires is going to go ahead and jump into the pit stop. You might as well. It's basically a freebie. So we'll see how this all plays out. Zenitsu has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far. A 129.468 for the Ferrari driver. That will be an extra point towards him if he could keep it and also stay within a points paying position, which as long as you're not 16th or 17th here, then that is very achievable, as Yuki Bear and Hado are trading positions once again and trying to catch up to Lamb, to Whiff, and then ultimately to Draco. So the question I'm going to pose to you now is Yuki Bear going to try to make a pit stop here to try to go and try to undercut the drivers up ahead? I mean, granted, he's not really within undercut range, but we saw the undercut work for Bevs. Are we going to see Yuki do the same thing?
It's a tough one. It is a real tough one because the way that the race is going, everyone is very, very spread out. So safety car is not looking good at the moment how this race is formed. You know, you've got Limitless and Whiff. He's actually dropped him. He's dropped him to 1.8 seconds now. So Whiff has lost the DRS. to Whiff. So Limitless is going to be able to push on there. Lamb is staying with Whiff, so those two will work with each other. Hado 9.2 second. It's not really dropping. It's actually increasing, not dropping. So yeah, and they're all on 26 laps. They're really pushing. They're going the extra stint here. Dante, Yuki, Aiden, Dito, all in their bibs. Now 6 seconds behind, and it was 9. So they've shaved 3 seconds off in the space of probably 2 laps. So they are really motoring and they're working together. You can see that Zenitsu and Bevs are working together because it's 6.1. I reckon before you get around this corner, it's going to be at 5.9. And this is a problem. This is a big, big problem for the guys at the front. Because there you go, at 5.8 now. So they are definitely bringing them in, and they're bringing them in quick. So yeah, I don't know. What do? You got you're in P5. You're 9 seconds behind Hado. You're technically 10 seconds behind Lamb. You're 11 seconds behind Whiff. You're nearly 12. You're nearly 12. I would say 12 seconds behind the leader. Let's have a look. Yeah, there you go. 12 seconds, dead on. I got that right. God, I'm good at maths. So there you go. 12 seconds behind the leader. You got your teammate down there in P13. He's 7 seconds behind Wonton, who is on 26 lap mediums. And then you've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And he's 13 seconds behind Roller. So, yeah, tough. I don't know. I really don't know. Do you risk it for the biscuit? At the moment, Bevs is in a great position. He's in P10, working with Zenitsu, and Zenitsu's actually just got a 10-second as well. So he's got the P9, and he's 4.9 behind Dido, and all of that group have got a pit wreckers. So, I don't know. I really don't know. I think they're going to try and push as much as they can so they can have fresher tyres for the end. But at the moment, 27 laps to those mediums of 5, 6. So what, you got 27, add 28, so that's 20, that's 40, I'm trying to work out my maths now. So that's 27, 28, 28, 30, 40, 50. Yeah, they'll be able to go to the end. So yeah, not looking good. Not looking good. Back to you.
Yeah, no, it's not looking super great. I mean, you're kind of in a position of you're screwed if you do and screwed if you don't. For these drivers who have still yet to pit, who are on those near 30-lap old tires, and Watson Navy does get a penalty for track limits. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that. We've only seen 3 drivers so far get that penalty, and two drivers getting a speeding in the pit lane violation, as we are about to begin lap number 30 out of 32. So we'll just have to see how this race does play out. Now, the medium tires aren't looking too bad at the moment. These drivers who are on these worn tires, they're on 28-lap old tires, but they don't really seem to be struggling that much out there on grip. So maybe these other drivers like Zenitsu, Bevs, and Rolla might be able to get to the end on the tires that they have here. But granted, they are going to have to do some serious management when it comes to trying to keep those tires within the optimal window and then try to keep them from falling off of that cliff. But if I were Yuki, I would actually try to make a pit stop. I would try to undercut these drivers and try to get onto the fresher set of tires quicker. But there's a reason that he's in the driver's seat, and I'm not. And I'm sure his strategists and his race engineers have cooked up a good strategy for him. They're going to try to work it out as best as they can to try to help Yuki get this championship because, I mean, time is running out. And, I mean, time flies, especially when you're having fun. And I'm sure as competitive as this field is, the drivers here are having fun here in Division 2. So we'll just have to see how the rest of the season plays out. But Yuki does not have a lot of races left to try to claw back that gap to Dale Bevs in the championship.
No, and the way as well, this is actually not helping them. Bevs is just on the fastest lap with a 29.9. 381. He's actually 1.9 behind. The battle going on here. We've got the yellows in the back, and that is JF7 who's gone off. He needs to get off the track. Oh, he does, and I think that's it. He will retire. His tires are completely gone, and it's been a painful night for JF7. They're down there in P17, and he'll just get out of the way. And he'll look for a retirement, I reckon, very, very soon. So, yeah, unfortunately for JF7. But going back down to the bottom, we've got Bears 1.3 behind Dido at the moment, right? And Shioki for 3-second time penalty there. So, the question is as well, this is helping Bevs and Zenitsu give a bit of an inkling of how long these mediums are going to last. And that's a problem, because now they know that they can do at 30 laps on this on this race, and they are on 20. They're on 8 at the moment, and 30 laps is going to take them to 60. So they know that they can go to the end of the race on these medium tyres. So they are in a prime time position, and these guys that are on these medium tyres, they have to stop, as we're seeing them come into the pits now of whiff. So this is really giving a very good bit of information for Zenitsu and Bevs in P8 and P7, Rekus.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, because information is such a vital part of these endurance rounds that we have here at Rush Racing League. So it's going to be, strategy's going to be paramount. But, Yuki is went for the soft tires. And Whiff has also went for the soft tires. Dito on the soft tires. A lot of these drivers are on that soft tire compound, which is a very surprising gamble that these drivers are taking. Earlier we were talking about risking it for the biscuit, and I think this is definitely one of those cases. I honestly figured they would have went to the hards and try to get to the end on those hard tires, but yeah. So I think everybody who just pitted in there went onto the soft compound tire. Yeah, they have. So that's really interesting when it comes to the overall strategy of this race. So it's definitely a two-stop for these drivers, as Hato already gets past Coda, who's on those 20-lap old racing hard tires. So, yeah, I'm just surprised to see the softs come out. I was expecting hards, to be honest.
Yeah, and you can see here at the moment that Bevs has got so much more speed than Aiden has. Aiden just needs to just be careful. You know, just needs to take his time, not do anything silly. You know, these guys are on very old tyres. Look, there they go. They're both going into the pits. Oh, look at that. I was just watching them both go into the pits. That could have been absolutely very damageable. That could have been carnage there as they both moved over. And there you go. Bevs up into P3. Lamb into P2 at the moment. 3 seconds behind Limitless. Limitless in a really good position here. The question is where is Limitless going to come out? Because now we've got Yuki in P12. He's actually fallen behind his teammate of Shifty Wizard and Wonton. He's actually fallen 4 seconds behind Wonton on 31 lap mediums. So this does not look like this is going to plan for Yuki Bear at the moment in that position. He is, let's have a look. He is 35 seconds behind the leader. So, yeah, not looking good. Not looking like a good night for Yuki Bear at the moment. But we'll have to wait and see. Anything can happen. Shifty does get the move done on One Truth, and they're going to be working together. But there's a 9-second gap to Whiff. Sorry, 5-second gap to Whiff. The gaps are massive. You know, Roller is 2.6 behind Zenitsu on 1 lap fresher tyres, but he is in with the DRS. The problem is though, he isn't with the obviously with the penalty. The problem is though, Roller is in front of Bevs and Yuki's behind. So if Roller does need to try and hold up Yuki, then and let Bevs continue, then it's another opportunity there. But at the moment, we're seeing both of the guys come into the pits, which means that we will see Zenitsu take the lead. JF7 is out, and he's put a safety car, and there you go.
Oh.
Drama. And where's Bevs and Zenitsu? They're coming round, and they've gone past the pit lane. What do? You'd go another set of softs, wouldn't you now? You'd go for a set of softs or a set of mediums to the end, if you've got them. Well,
yeah, honestly, because the soft tires went quite a long ways. So, but the problem is that even if you did chuck on a set of soft tires now, if you're in this top 3, you're gonna get put right into some pretty decent traffic with the safety cars. So it's a gamble, but we've seen these kind of gambles pay off before. earlier on in the season. So yeah, a lot of the field are now running on that soft tire compound, and actually Yuki made a pit stop and put on another set of softs himself. So softs to the end for a lot of these drivers here. So that's going to be I figured the safety car, if and when we got a safety car, it'd make things really really interesting, and that is exactly what happened here.
Yeah, interesting to see there. I've got messages coming through. Okay, all right. We're a little bit of conversations regarding that safety car. We knew that JF7 was struggling, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, that will be investigated. So JF7's safety car crash will be investigated. Lap 33. Okay. We'll jump into that. All right. Well, there we go. Bevs in, Zenitsu and Roller. They're going to double stack. What's going to happen here? This is going to be massive. This is going to change this race up massively now. Limitless into P1 with into P2. Bevs into P3. Roller into P4. Zenitsu looking in P5. Are they going to get jumped here? Lamb coming around the corner. He jumps Dale Bevs for that P3 spot. Bevs in P4, Roller in P5, Dido in P6. Oh, that was very close. Roller just... Oh, no, actually, no, he got the job done there. He got the job done on Dido, so he came out the pits before him. So, Bevs and Roller in P4, P5, Dido in P6, Dante in P7, Zenitsu in P8, One Shift in P9, Shifty in P10, Wonton in P11, Trio in P12, Yuki and then P13. And every single person is on fresh tyres, apart from Trio Kev. Coda's coming in. He's obviously going to go onto the softs. I reckon we'll see how... No, Aiden's Raiden's going to stay on the mediums. And Trio Kev, I think, we'll probably see on some soft compound tyres as well. So this has changed this race massively. And we've got 3 different people leading this race. Rikus.
Yeah, indeed. It's I mean, we hate seeing the safety car come out because, you know, obviously we love the racing, we love the battles, and it is uber illegal to try to make any battles happen under a safety car. But it does pack this group back up. So now they're going to be packed together like a pack of Oreos. But also we see some very interesting last moment strategy calls from a lot of these teams, because most times when a strategist plans their strategy out for their team, they may have a backup plan in case of a safety car, but their primary plan is with no safety car. At least I imagine. So anyway, each team does operate differently. It'd be extremely hard for all 10 teams to operate the exact same way, despite the fact that it is equal performance here. But each team and driver has their different driving style and different strategies that benefit them. But it's with the safety car, I'm just really curious on how many battles are really going to go on. Because, well, granted, if you look at the lap counter now, these drivers are on 2-lap-old soft tires, but these tires haven't really been used. So right now, these soft tires are still basically brand new. So expect a lot of action and a lot of drama here when we get a restart after the safety car wraps up.
Yeah. Interesting to see. No Russian safety car, mate. That's why Whiff is in the in P2. No, it's not to do it. He's in the wrong division. He's reserving, and the safety car came out, and that got in front of everyone else, and he was already in front of everyone else, and they decided to go longer. So that's the reasons why he is in that P2 spot at the moment. But yeah, no, you're right. The safety car has caused a bit of a storm. But those guys are on older tyres. You know, you've got 4 laps with Whiff, 2 laps Limitless, 2 laps Lamb, and everyone else is on 1. Dido's on 4, Dante's on 3. You know, there's a lot of guys that are on very, very fresh soft, so they're going to be very, very quick. But the question is are they going to be able to get through? Good position to be in at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see what happens here. 35 laps out of 52, still a long way to go. And we've seen the safety car come out in a safety car. So yeah, interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, likewise, because all these drivers are going to be raring to go, and they will not have to wait much longer as the safety car is in this lap. So there's going to be a lot of battling going on here. The safety car is going to come in. Draco is going to lead us to green here. So we're going to just see him wiggle his way through Stowe as he's trying to go ahead and get those tires heated up and into their proper operating window. The safety car is in, and we go when Limitless Draco goes, and I believe he has decided to go for it. So going quite a bit early now, and he is going to go ahead and take off and try to pull away from Whiff, but Whiff was not caught napping. So Whiff is still close behind as this field spreads out ever so slightly, but still a massive, massive DRS range throughout the field. Yuki Bear does get the move done on the Trio Kev, the first pass of the safety car restart. And so far, it's been a good amount of battle, but once again, Trio Kev is at such a disadvantage now. Maybe a bit of contact between himself and Hato. Now he's lost every position. Now he's out of the points even. So those 10-lap-old hard tires were definitely not the correct call, at least in the early stages of this race. But we have seen the soft tires get to around 20 or so laps before drivers made the pit stop to get rid of them. So, I mean, these soft tires are surprisingly durable today. I honestly thought they would have not been that durable at all. But a good restart from Draco, and already we're seeing a gap with Bevs and MJ Rolla now. 1.2 seconds between the McLarens already. And we're already starting to see gaps forming up and down this grid. Watanabe is now a second and a half away from Shifty. And then also Triokev is now about a second and a half away from Aiden. As Yuki Bear does make it up into P11 now. And yeah, this has been a pretty hot restart.
Yeah, I think we might be seeing a little bit of strategy come into it now from McLaren's side there from Roller. We'll have to wait and see what's happening. He's low on ERS, but he is... Yeah, he's trying to... He's sort of stayed in the DRS zone, but then he's losing it a little bit. Bevs is in the DRS zone. He needs to get to the bottom of this pack, well, to the back of this pack as soon as possible. But the thing is, if he does, that then brings Roller in, then that brings everyone else in. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, the safety car will be investigated. I know there's a lot of people not happy about that. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, that will be an investigation. We'll have to wait and see. With Matif at the moment in that P1 position, Limitless in P2, Lamb in P3, Bevs now in P4, Roller in P5, staying out of the DRS at the moment. I don't know if that is a plan. We'll have to wait and see. Going a little bit further back down to Yuki. Yuki 2.1 behind Shifty. Shifty 8/10 behind One Truth. So yeah, Mercedes in still a good position at the moment. Penalties behind them, so they've got nothing to worry about there. Bevs in that P4 spot. We're seeing with Matif being overtaken by Limitless and Lamb, and Bevs now into the P4 spot. So Roller in that P5 spot, still second there to Bevs, but nothing is going on at the moment. I don't know if we're seeing a plan. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. What do you think the plan is at the moment? Because Bevs is in the DRS with Lamb and Limitless, and Roller is now back in the DRS. So are they working together? Is he trying to hold up? Is he trying to let Bevs pull on? As we're seeing a safety car and Raiden is out. There is a big accident, and that's another safety car. And Raiden is out of this race. I do not know what's happened there. I'm gonna have to put that in. Lap 38.
Yeah, I don't know what happened either. I missed it. I was looking at the battle between the McLarens, but I think it might have actually just been a bit of a mistake from MJ Rolla, because he was, I think, about a second and a half at one point, then quickly caught back up to his teammate. So maybe a bit of a snap, bit of wheel spin, maybe took a corner too wide. I'm not exactly sure, but it's kind of tricky because, I mean, if it was deliberately slowing down to try to give your teammate a buffer who is the current championship leader, then it's kind of a cheeky move. and frustrating to the other drivers that are not wearing papaya. But it is a strategy we do see in the real world Formula One. If you look back to 2021, that is where Checo got his Mexican Minister of Defense title from, with how well he was defending against Hamilton at stages throughout the season. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I guess we will never know for sure unless we get one of these drivers on a podium. Then we can ask them in the interviews. But yeah, this next safety car, I wasn't expecting another safety car so soon. So what do these drivers do? That's the question at hand. Do they try to stick it out to the end on these soft tires, or try to get onto another fresh set of rubber? I don't know. I don't think it's really worth the risk at this point to try to pit in. I think what these drivers really need to do, I think Trio Cab needs to pit, definitely. Still running on those hard tires. I think these drivers really just need to just stay out and stick behind the safety car and just wait for the restart, because you're really going to lose a bunch of unnecessary time. And these tires are still pretty new, because we only had about, what, 2, maybe 3 racing laps on these soft tires?
Interesting to see. Well, I don't know. You know, that 22 laps they done. So 40, they come up to 40. They've done 6. They can go to the end. I would say they can go to the end. Yeah, they can go to the end. It's going to be close, though.
Yeah, they're going to have to definitely do
left.
some management here.
13 plus... How good's your maths? 13 plus 6.
So 19 laps, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So Limitless is going to be, you know, hurting. Well, no, they're all going to be hurting. They're all going to be hurting. The only one is Trio Kiv. He's going to have the freshest ones. So he's down there in P14. So, and everyone's going to get points as Aiden and JF7 are out of this race. So 13 laps to go and 19 laps with Limitless. 19 with Lamb. 20, 19, 21 with Whiff. They're going to be hurting. Watanabe.
Oh.
It's 10 seconds for yellows. Bit of drama going on here between Shifty and Yuki and Watanabe, and what's happened here? He's coming to the pits. So he's going to then probably serve the 10. Okay, so a little bit of an incident going on there. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, so, and then Dido, 9 laps. So Whiff and Dido are they're gonna hurt. I've just also seen here that Roller and Bevs are in front of Zenitsu, and Dido is right in the middle of that. So Zenitsu has lost 2 spots to Bevs, because Bevs and Zenitsu were working together most of this race. So Zenitsu's hurt the most here tonight.
Yeah, I fully agree that these drivers are going to be hurting towards the end of this race. Yeah, Zenitsu did get the short end of the stick, but I mean, he is on fresher tires than Dido, so he might be able to get past Dido early on. But the thing is to note is with these tires, I mean, I know we see the numbers of 6, 7, 9 laps, 8 laps of tire age, but about a good half of those have been under safety car. So those tires haven't been really pushed to their full potential. So they'll still be able to get a bit of extra tire life out of those tires. Obviously, the drivers are going to swerve and try to keep it up. Like that meal you brought to work that you slapped in a microwave for 30 seconds.
There we go.
But in general, these tires aren't as old as they seem. So
just heard.
I still think they're gonna be struggling, but not as much as they normally would if it was all these laps were under full green flag conditions.
Yeah, I've just heard what's happened. So Zenitsu served the team. That's the reasons why he's lost the points. Panic saying this is absolutely insane. Feel free to elaborate, Panic. I'm happy to hear what you've got to say, mate. We're on 40 laps out of 52. We've got 12 laps remaining in this race. Rekus, I will let you take this away. This is going to get juicy. This is going to get spicy. This is what it's all about. There is 3 laps remaining. If we could call it the season now, it would be an absolutely insane finish, but we're not going to. Limitless is leading the way. Over to you, Rekus, to take away the safety car restart.
All right, Limitless Drango, the driver flying that Singapore flag, is going to go ahead and fly to the start-finish straight as we get back underway after the safety car restart. And it was a fantastic start here for the Red Bull driver. Currently pulling away a little bit, about 7/10 of a gap there, as it is Lamb to Whiff to Bevs to Rolla. And not really a lot of changes up and down this pack since the safety car restart. All these drivers are within DRS range of each other now, so all these cars are within a very solid train here, as we are watching these drivers navigate through Sector 1, now going into Sector 2, about to navigate their way all the way to turn number 8 on the corner, or on the track. And it has been a pretty drama-free restart, all things considered. Not really a lot of moves being made here in the early stages, but these drivers are going to have to try to nurse these soft tires to the end of this Grand Prix, as we are close to the final 10 laps remaining of the session. And I mean, there's still so much to play for. Still a lot of places to make up, places to lose. Draco is out of DRS range now from XD Lamb, so that's going to give him a bit of a buffer, but can Lamb bring it back in? Lamb can oftentimes be seen as the unluckiest driver in Rush Racing League. He's had a really good pace, as DRS has now been enabled. He's had really good pace, but unfortunately connectivity and hardware issues just have really been the real pain of his season. But we do know that he does have pace, but right now he is just losing time to Draco. So Draco getting a good amount of that buffer as we start lap number 42 out of 52.
Yeah, 10 laps of racing remaining. Limitless out in front, dropping the DRS. Lamb could be in a bit of trouble now. Whiff could be in a bit of trouble. He does not seem to have those tyres. Those tyres are probably going to go before Bevs, and Bevs is getting closer and closer to him. He's then bringing a Roller, then Dino, then Zenitsu, then Dante. And One Truth is followed very, very closely. Shifty down there in P10. Followed closely behind it is his teammate in P11. There is a big gap between Yuki and Dale. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots at the moment. Can he make any more spots in the closing stages? He's got 10 laps to do it. Anything can happen. We've seen as Lamb has got a 3-second time penalty. That is not what he wants. Bevs will be licking his lips, so will Whiff. And here goes Bevs. He's going to make the move on with Matif. He's going to go side by side. With Matif does not have the ERS. Does he let him go? Oh, Bevs gets squeezed and gets blocked out there. Roller's going to go into it. They're really going to try and hurt here. It's not. I wouldn't ban him. Oh, they're going to go side by side. Oh, Lamb. Whiff is really pushing Bevs to his limits here, even though he's not fighting for a championship and he's in Division 3. He's going up against the championship leader, loses it to Roller. Now Roller into P5, Whiff into P4. He's burned everything. So is Bevs, and then Roller's got 70% behind. Lamb with the 3 seconds. Bevs is still looking at a P2 at the moment. But the question is, are they going to be able to get to the back of Lamb? They're going to have to do it quick. They do not want him to get out of DRS. They need to push on, because Limitless is going to win this race if this continues like that. I just can't see them catching Limitless. He's got the pace. He's already dropped Lamb already. Bevs is in that good position. Oh, Whiff goes wide down. Roller goes around the outside. Does he get the job done? No, he stays in formation. Does Lamb still have front wing damage? Let's have a look.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Lamb.
Fixed wing.
Yeah, his car got fixed.
Oh, nice bit of drama there. Zenitsu getting past Dido up into P6. Dido coming back at him as well. There is battles going all over the place. We love to see it. One Truth there in the mix. We got Shifty in the mix. We got Yuki in the mix. Hado is going to put the pressure on Yuki as well. Coda is into this battle as well. It's all going off in the final stages, which is great to see. Lamb in that P2 spot still 1.7. Bevs in P3. Roller into P4. Goes around the outside. Whiff has lost it. He's lost it on his own. He's gone off the track. And he's dropped all the way down to P14. He's made a mistake. And that's on him, unfortunately. And that's massive. And he's all the way down to P15. He'll be He will be very angry with that. That then brings now Bevs and Roller into P3, P4, Zenitsu into P5, Dante into P6. Interesting there. It's very interesting. Dido now into P6. Look at this. They're going side by side. Dante is trying to squeeze himself through. It's all going off, isn't it, on the final stages of this race? Lap 44 out of 52. Back to you, Rickus.
Yeah, I mean,
No, it doesn't need
chaos on the restart.
Did you see
Yeah,
that?
chaos.
Did you see that from?
I did see that. Yeah.
Was there contact, or did he spin on his own?
I think there might have been a bit of contact, but with the angle
note,
I had, I just saw a sea of cars.
We'll note it down.
So I was gonna say, just note it just in case, but it just looked like a gaggle of
43. Sorry, I've got that wrong. There was no contact. We'll put it down. We'll
Okay.
put it down anyway. We'll look at it the onboard, and if we don't need it, we won't fire it in. But yeah, unfortunate there. Sorry, Rick, it's back to you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, pretty interesting that we saw. I believe it was Lamb who. Excuse me.
I'll let Rickus, yeah, talk.
Yeah, sorry. Stuff went down the wrong pipe. So, yeah. Contrary to popular belief, humans don't have gills, and trying to breathe in water does not work well for the human body. But yeah, XD Lamb, he took a lot of that curve there on turns 16 and 17, kind of almost mimicking what Lewis Hamilton did in, I believe it was one of the practice sessions on Monaco, where we had, instead of Air Hamilton, we had Air XD Lamb. So that was interesting. But yeah, a lot of drama since the restart, and that's the reason why everybody loves Silverstone, because there's so many opportunities to have good moments and ridiculously insane overtake.
How excited are you for 25 next season? The new cars, new drivers, I can't wait. Gonna be buzzing, man. And this is what it's all about, you know. Division 2 has been fantastic all season, the battles, and however it finishes, at the end of the day, props to everyone, props to every single person this season, and props to these guys still continuing, even though that 25 is still going to be coming out next week. So yeah, it's fantastic to see, and I'm just going to let you know here, Limitless has actually dropped down to 1 second, and Lamb is bringing in Bevs to the battle, which does he know he's got the 3-second time penalty there? So this could be music this week. It comes out this Jake. Yeah, I did say that, Coops, mate. It comes out this week. It comes out on Friday.
It's Friday. It's Tuesday if you got the Iconic Edition, which I pre-ordered the Iconic Edition, so I'll be spending way too much time in my team career, and then also going through the reverse layouts of the tracks, which actually the track we're on tonight does have a reverse layout in F125, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does. Oh no! Oh, there's a movie. Oh, look at this. One Truth has gone off. There's been contact between the Mercedes of One Truth and Yuki. Oh, that will be looked at by the stewards. It looks like there's a bit of contact there. Lap 46, One Truth and
Yikes.
Yuki. That will be interesting. You can see there. Interesting to see what's happened there. That could have been curtains for One Truth. He's managed to hold it. Big mistakes making at the end there. The Alpine driver dropping down to P15, with dropping down to P13 with the incident earlier on in, I'm trying to think where it was, what the bloody corner's called, but I can't think. The question is though, look at this. We saw early on, Limitless Draco was 1.7 seconds out in front. He is now 2.5 tenths behind Lamb, who is leading this race with a 3-second time penalty. Bevs is behind in P3, 4.5 tenths. Roller is 1 second behind. He's just dropped out the DRS, but he's got a 3-second gap to Zenitsu. So this is massive. This is massive here, what has happened in this final couple of laps on lap 47 out of 52, and after the safety car restart, it's just all gone off. It's just been mistakes happening. One Truth is probably going to come into the pits. He will get that last fastest lap and take those 2 points, because at the moment Coda's got the fastest lap with 128.012, so he'll take that away. So keep an eye out on One Truth to get that. But yeah, Lamb with the 3 seconds, Limitless behind, Bevs behind, and then Roller. And still opportunities here for everyone. Trio Kiv does lose out to Watanabe there, so we've still got battles still going on. Yuki in a very DRS train, but after Dante, he's got 3 seconds to Zenitsu. So yeah, it's been an painful night for Yuki, but he's tried to do as best as he can to get to the front. It's now 1, 2, 3 spots away from his nemesis at the moment. But Bevs, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting strat here. What Bevs is going to do? He knows that Lamb's got the 3 seconds. What does he do? He's coming to the closing stages. Does he stay? Does he keep the P3, or does he fight for that pole position and take the win?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see which he does. I would still try to fight Lamb to try to at least, because he's gonna pass Lamb either way, even if it's not on track. He'll do it via penalties, but he'll get a good shot of trying to get Draco and try to maximize the amount of that he wants to maximize the amount of points that he has in the lead of this championship. He wants to extend that championship lead as much as humanly possible, and he ideally wants to wrap up this championship before the season end. So that's going to be on Dale Bevs' mind, at least more than certainly. He's still going to increase the gap to Yuki now, regardless, unless he has a massive incident. But Yuki right now is trying to fight with Zenitsu now for P6 and P7. So a pretty decent gaggle of cars here from people. For Yuki, ideally, he wants to be, obviously he wants to win the race, but in a more immediate and probably realistic sense, he wants to try to get P5 because, Bevs is trying to do the most damage. You have Yuki on damage limitation to try to keep his championship hopes alive, at least all the way to the mystery round at undisclosed track. Nobody knows. I don't think you even know, SJ. I think we have a rough idea based on tracks we haven't been to this season, but we're not going to know until that night where we have our season finale.
No. Zero he's just that good. I'm sorry, I was just reading the question to Tudor, what Tudor was saying there. Zenitsu and Yuki really having a nice little battle here. It's good to see. He's really doing his best to hold him up, putting it into none into corners, holding him up. But Zenitsu staying in the DRS of Dante. What a performance from Dante as well tonight. P5, making up 5 spots. We are going to be coming into the drive of the day very, very soon, and I don't know. I'm going to ask you first. Who do you think is your driver of the day?
That's an interesting one. I'm kind of torn between Dito and Hato because and Shifty too. Those are all 3 good candidates. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Dito because he is a Division 3 driver. Reserving up, he's been in this Division 2 seats for quite some time now, but he's made up 4 positions, and he's punching above his weight in this race. So, good stuff for him.
Okay, all right. Well, I will put it in a sec. We're coming up to lap 50 very, very soon. And I will let you take over lap 51. And as always, love to take the last lap. But we're going to start working out the drive of the day. Yuki Bear still in that B7 spot. Zenitsu losing those 5 spots. Lamb now losing out. Oh, Lamb goes around the outside. This battle's going on here between the McLaren, and Bevs will not want to fight in this, but he stays in formation. Limitless is trying to push out in front. Lamb is holding up Bevs. Bevs, is he going to make the move? Coming down the outside. Yes, he does. He makes them. No, he doesn't. He stays within formation. Oh, no. Lamb gets back into position. It is basically the 2 McLarens versus the Williams and the Red Bull. This is going to be very interesting. Lamb's done very well to hold this on, but unfortunately, Lamb is going to fall down into P4. So he's going to be a bit of a spanner here. He knows that the guys behind him are going to overtake him, but he's not going to let them have it that easy. He's going to let them probably win on track with the penalty, even though he's got the 3 seconds. You would sometimes think that drivers will just let them pass because they know where they're going to finish. He is going to finish in P4 spot. Dante's not going to catch him. He's too far behind. Yeah, these guys are really making a decision here. So, Rickus, I'll let you take this lap, and I'll put the driver of the days in. I'm going to go for. It's real tough because you're saying Dido. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Dante's done a great job since being back. He hasn't driven much, and he's in P6.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of the drivers that could be good candidates. But on to lap 51 now. There's taking a look at this battle at the front. It's MJ Rolla still trying to get past Lamb. Now, granted, Lamb knows he's going to lose the spots to these two McLarens, but this is about personal pride at the moment. He can still finish knowing that he was second place on track, or maybe even first place on track if he somehow manages. But XD Lamb is fending with his life right now. He holds up the McLaren once again as we go down after the exit of turn 8 going into turn number 9. And then we're about to head through the very famous S's on the track here at Silverstone on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. It's been a long one. There's contact! Big contact between Dale Bevs and Lamb, and spinning around. And that is definitely going to be noted. Lap 51 contact between Dale Bevs and XD Lamp. That is certainly going to get noted because that was a massive, massive incident. Now he's down behind Dante. And now this battle is between the Red Bull and the McLarens. And as we head to the final lap, I'm going to pass it back to you, SJ.
Okay, so we've got a bit of drama going on there. Actually, sorry, can you write in the chat? It was lap 51 between Roller and Lamb, not Bivs. So here we go. We've got Limitless. We've got drama going on. Dino is out. Dino's lost it on the corner, and Dino is out. So Dino will not get driver of the day. Oh my days! Dino's gone on the last lap. What has happened there? But we're going to jump back on board because it's Limitless and Bivs for P1. Here we go. Lamb and Roller, not Bivs. There we go. Lamb and Roller. Awesome. Thank you very much. Put it in there, Records, if you can. Lap 51. Here we go. Limitless and Bevs. It is all about this. ERS is the management key. Lamb into P4. He's going to go up against Dante. Has got a massive opportunity to take even P4 on track. He's holding on. He's got Yuki behind with 67%. Zenitsu 47%. We're going to go back up to the front. We've got Limitless going through Maggots and Beckett's. He is on 30% battery. Bevs is on a fair bit as well. Roller's on a lot bit less. He'll take the P3. Could be investigated. Limitless. Here we go. It doesn't look like Bevs is going to catch him. It looks like Limitless is going to be able to keep the position here. Dale Bevs is coming down the main straight. He's pushing. He's pushing. He's pushing. Does he go for the move? Does he go for the move? Does he have it? No, he doesn't. It looks like Limitless is going to hold on for the P1 at Silverstone. It's been a great race. Bevs is really trying to push on. He's getting so close, but he's not going to be able to do it. Limitless is going to take it. P1. Bevs in P2, Roller in P3, under investigation on the last lap. Dante is going to hold on for P4. Definitely deserves driver of the day, in my opinion. That is a fantastic night for him. Yuki, P5. He's done exactly the same thing he did last week, and he's done it again. But he is under investigation as well. So, interesting night in... I can't believe what I'm saying here. Interesting what happened there on the final hurdle. And Dido losing it on the last lap. What has just happened?
I have a really bad tendency of unintentionally, like 9 times out of 10, if there's a commentator skirts, it's going to go to a Williams. They have to be the unluckiest team in Division 2. That is really unfortunate, but still, it was a very good drive from Draco, though. I mean, ever since the safety car restart, he was very in control of this Grand Prix. So, very well done there for the Red Bull.
Yeah, it is. And there we go. And we're going to listen to Dante, who is driver of the day as well. As there is only more votes. But what a night. What a night of racing. A little bit of drama right at the end. The onboard stewards are going to be interested there. We'll obviously get that footage in. That's an interesting one. We'll have to wait and see. Interesting to say the least. Now we'll roll it. Oh, an incident between Shifty and Dido. that's what happened, apparently, in the comments. So obviously that will be looked at by the onboard stewards as well, by probably their footage. But Limitless taking P1, Dale Bevs taking P2, NJ Roller taking P3. Fastest lap goes to One Truth. Unfortunately, we lost JF7, Aiden, and Dido on that final lap, and a little bit of drama going on there. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see what happens here, Rickers, because a little bit of drama going into the final stages of this race, and always want a little bit of last lap drama. But it's going to be interesting to see what these guys have got to say.
Yeah, I'm really just curious about what happened in that incident with the McLaren and XD Lamb, because I mean, sometimes those incidents just happen with how hard these drivers are going. It's getting closer to the end of the. You want to try to maximize your results, even if you're not directly championship. You want to end the season on a high note. So these drivers are giving it everything they got. They're giving it the bean, and just trying to capitalize on stuff that just sometimes goes wrong.
Yeah, definitely, and we are going to jump on board with some we're going to jump on board with some interviews in a second, and it doesn't look like we are. You still don't have a mic. Unfortunate.
Hello.
Have a mic. We'll jump on board with the guys in a second, which we'll start off with Dante. But before we do that, give us a little bit of a summary of tonight's race, Rickus.
It was a pretty tame race for the most part, but everything really started firing off after that second safety car. That's when we saw the most drama, the most overtakes, and we saw a really good battle at one point between the top 5 drivers. We saw the unfortunate spin from Whiff. We saw Aaron Williams, essentially, when XDLAM rallycrossed the curve. And then it just led, and there was just a lot of action during that second safety car restart, especially right there at the end.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm just saying at the moment, David, if you're listening, mate, get your driver, Limitless Draco, a mic. He definitely deserves it, mate. What a night for him. What a race for him. And definitely deserved it. I'm going to see if we can get David in for a quick chat, because it would be great to hear what he's got to say regarding his driver of Limitless, because he's had a very interesting season. Hasn't been up there that much of the season. So it'll be interesting to see what he's got to say. But yeah, a lot of investigations and some big investigations going into this race as well. So I'm going to tag David just to see if he does jump in. So I'll just send him the link quickly. I'm waiting for Roller to jump in. Hopefully he jumps in soon. Just waiting for him, and then we'll then crack on. Where is MJ? There we go. Right, okay. All right, well, first of all, let's go over to our driver of the day, and I'll jump on board to the player room. What a night. God, it's going to be a very interesting week for Division 5 and 6 and 3. And there you go. Over to you, Reckers, for driver of the day, to Dante.
Well, congratulations, Dante, on getting driver of the day here this week. It's 100% race here at Silverstone. It's a very long race. So how's the race from your perspective?
Hello. Yes, Jay, Reckers. How are we doing, boys?
Yep, I can hear you.
Good.
Yeah, well, to start it off, qualifying P10 wasn't ideal. But yeah, kind of already kicked off on the first few corners, and I gained like 2 positions. Then it was just touch and go from there. Like it was just in the DRS trains. Then towards the end with the safety cars, that sort of benefited me. Was able to go from P8 to P4, which I'm pretty happy about. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a very, very good race for you. We know you haven't done the most races in recent time, but I think you put on a fantastic performance. You also did get driver of the day. So we are coming to the end of the season now. We have 3 rounds left to go. We have Jeddah, Mexico, and then the mystery round. So which of the 2 tracks that we know for certain are you looking forward to the most?
Sorry, which was it Jeddah the first one?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I like Mexico, but I wouldn't say I'd be looking forward to either of them for specific reasons. But yeah, I like Mexico. I'm pretty good qualifying there, so yeah.
All right. Well, once again, fantastic race. Congratulations on driver of the day, and I'll pass you over to SJ.
Yeah, Dante. Obviously, good to see you on the track, mate. I know it's been up and down this season. We haven't seen you race that many races, but yeah, what a performance! And you're obviously not happy with your qualifying, but the end of the result there was a great result. How did you think? How did you find the race in general?
It was a bit of it was pretty chill. Like I've definitely had more intense races in Rush, but it kicked off at the end, the wheel banging, the pushing, and all that. But I was glad to avoid a big incident, and happy to finish in P4. Happy to finish it full stop.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic result, and yeah, a massive. You actually finished above your TP, who tonight looked in really good form, and looked like
Yeah,
he was gonna get some good points.
yeah, he was on for a podium there, but unfortunate to get involved in a incident at the last chicane.
Yeah, and yeah, very unfortunate for him. And obviously, there's a few investigations going on. If that was a spin, did he do that on his own? Was the contact made? And obviously, there's big things there. And he did fight. We were seeing he was fighting up Bevs, and we know that's his knowledge division. But good to go up against someone that is the championship leader and doing as much as he can. So yeah, that's good to see that a Division 3 driver taking it to Division 2.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can no longer call him Div 3 after this season. I
Yeah,
think it's quite obvious now.
yeah, he's been good, but then one race doesn't make you a Division 2 driver. If that is an error from him that's made that mistake, then he's fallen down to the back. And these guys, as we've seen tonight, it was very difficult for the gaps to be pushed on. We saw obviously Yuki trying to pull in that gap. We saw him keep changing his positions. You were involved in that DRS train, and give us a little bit of a heads up on that, because it was around about 8 seconds and it pushed down to 9. How difficult is it to push a gap that big when you're in a DRS train?
I mean, if the front runners aren't fighting, then it's not really easy because they're obviously up there, meaning they're faster than us. So when we're trying to swap DRS, I can't say it was probably the most efficient. Like I was given team orders to just hold behind and let Hate on Yuki switch, but yeah, I kept getting the call that they were losing time. So I don't know. I didn't really want to get involved in it because I can't say I'm the best at this track. So I was just trying to stay clean, stay calm, and yeah, just stay behind, hold position.
Well, fantastic. It was a great performance from you, mate. Well deserved for driver of the day. 3 races left now. And will you be there for those 3 races? Jeddah, Mexico, and the mystery?
No comment.
That's fair.
But we'll see what happens.
All good. All right. Well, congratulations, mate. Well done on where you're finishing tonight, which was P4, obviously pending penalties and results and stuff like that. And congratulations on driver of the day.
Cheers. It's great to be back in here. It's been a long time.
Good man. Right. Well, we're not going to get anyone else because no one else wants to talk to us, which is a bit of a shame. Would have been good to talk to David regarding this. So we're going to go straight over to our winner of the race, and we will touch base with him on his teammate as well. So yeah, over to you.
Second.
Sorry, second. Oh, I forgot. Going into P2.
The allegations.
I know. Yeah, the allegations. Over to you, Vekas, for Bevs.
Yeah, congratulations on P2. I'm sorry, I can't get over the papaya bias allegations, but yeah, an interesting race for you today. I mean, tire wear didn't really seem to be that much of an issue for you guys running on that medium tire compound. What was the strategy going into today, considering it is a 100% distance race?
Yeah, I didn't really find the tyres too difficult, to be honest. I felt like they were there pretty much the entire race. Obviously, I didn't get to run the full distance on the mediums because of that perfectly timed safety car for some of those medium runners from the start. But yeah, the tyres didn't feel too bad throughout the race, so which was nice.
Yeah, I mean, even when you guys were, because I know quite a few drivers started off on those soft tire compound. I mean, you guys weren't really struggling there. Were you guys struggling there towards the end? Because it didn't really look like it, at least from my POV.
No, there was obviously some tyre wear which was decreasing the speed, but it wasn't nothing major. It felt pretty consistent throughout, and we were able to keep the mediums behind during the stint, so it seemed to work out. But yeah, it's just weird with the tyres already.
Yeah, I mean, two safety cars basically back to back almost really kind of threw a wrench into the works. But I do also want to ask the big question of you did extend your lead into the championship. We have 3 rounds left to go. We have Jeddah, we have Mexico, and then the mystery round. So when it comes to Jeddah and Mexico, do you feel confident that you can extend the championship lead even further and end up taking the Drivers' Championship here in Division?
No, I think I'll be able to extend it. I think Yuki's pretty, I would imagine, fairly quick around Jeddah and Mexico. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think if I can hold him off, it'd be nice. But you never say never. One bad race, especially around Jeddah, with one mistake leading to a potential DNF, the season's still very much on.
All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and pass you over to SJ. Once again, congratulations on getting P2.
Thank you very much, Regis. Bevs, good evening, mate. What a night. She was a long one tonight. 52 laps around Silverstone. Good qualifying from yourself, and it looked like your strategy worked very well. The safety car is obviously being investigated as well. Unfortunately, there was few comments coming through, which we'll obviously talk about later on in the week, and obviously the investigation will obviously find out what happened. That then obviously changed the race up for you a little bit because you did have, I'd say you were out quite far in front. You'd have probably had about 13, 14 seconds to your rival in Yuki. And it seemed that you and Zenitsu worked quite well tonight, and you were using each other, the DRS, and then switching it around with Roller. Was there a time where Roller was just dropping off a little bit so you could just extend that gap with Zenitsu early on in the race?
No. I don't believe so. We tried to keep up with each other as much as we could because obviously both cars on the podium would be nice. Obviously, we had to work out who was going first and whatnot. So I think it just was the way it happened because once he lost DRS, once I went in and Zenitsu went in, then he was kind of a sitting duck, I guess. So no, I don't think that there was any strategy to slow down or anything. It just kind of happened that way.
Okay, that's interesting. Interesting to hear. And and then obviously you saw that Lamb had that penalty, and he obviously took a bit of a side-by-side action there, and we saw a little bit of side-by-side action with the incident that came into the last corner. I'm just trying to think where it is. I know it's Stowe, and then it's into the next one. I can't think what the corner's called. We see him hit the curb. Do you know if there was a bit of contact there between you? Because I don't know if that was around the same time that you were beside him, or he was beside Roller. Do you know anything about the incident there that happened with With?
No, that was, I believe, the lap after I passed him. So I was more focused on the corner in front rather than what was going on behind. So I can't comment on that one.
Okay, all good. No, that's fine. No problem. Are you on board with Stuart? We'll talk about that. It was 27 points last week. It's now 34. We've had this conversation so many times throughout the season, especially last season. You've been in this position before. 3 races remaining. Obviously, 3 big races. Jeddah, Mexico, and obviously the mystery. Going into next week, Jeddah, fast track, Sector 3 is extremely powerful. Sector 1, you've got to be really switched on. How are you feeling around Jeddah next week?
Yeah, Jeddah's Jeddah. I think I said it the same as last week. Just avoid DNFing and hopefully get another consistent result. But we'll see how we go.
Okay, well, won it once again, mate. Fantastic. Great job tonight. It is looking very, very tight at the top. We've seen it's 34 points between Division 1, but basically it's a miracle over there, and it's becoming quite close here still. And it's good to see that you're not like. Some people get very, very confident, and as we've seen, I think tonight there was a bit of a drama with the Aston Martins, and it's actually turned around pretty quick with them. They were doing very, very well, and then all of a sudden it's now gone the other way. So things can change very, very quickly. And do you believe that you just need to keep the consistency, finishing in the P1, P3, and if you can do that to the end of the season, you should be able to take the chip?
You would think so. I mean, if you have one DNF and Yuki finishes first, the gap goes from 34 to 9. So one race is all it takes. So we'll see how we go.
What did you? The one last question I'm going to ask you is: we've seen tonight he's qualifying. I think it was P9, P10. Didn't have the best of nights in qualifying. So, and you were pretty up there as well. And the race didn't seem to go to the back. So, it is completely different from the top to the midfield. And do you think that's where he's struggling to have those problems, or do you think if you were in that situation, you would be the same? Because we did see that he couldn't actually make much time up. I think it was 9 seconds to the next car in front, and it didn't really drop until, I think there was a bit of an incident with Roll. I think he made a mistake and then came back on, and it dropped down to 8.5. And that's what we saw tonight. You guys really worked that DRS train, and until that safety car, it looked like it wasn't going to be his night. So when you get into those situations, do you believe that you would be the same? Do you believe it is a struggle trying to fight through that mid-pack?
It's hard to say because obviously one-shot quality, one mistake puts you back a few positions. The thing is, with that, if one person in front of you makes a mistake, so if you're in 10th and one person in front of you makes a mistake, then you lose DRS, and this track is purely about staying in the DRS train. So limiting how many people are in front of you is what was important there. We were able to keep it with the guys in front. Obviously, he had someone in front of him that might have made a mistake or just wasn't as quick as the front pack. But I think if Yuki was in the front, I think he would have had no issues staying with it.
Okay, awesome. Well, once again, Bevs, congratulations on the P2. Very, very close to the P1. Obviously, Limitless just took it, and we look forward to seeing what you can do in Jeddah. Enjoy the Monaco Grand Prix and enjoy your week.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
You too. Regis, coming to the closing stages now. 3 races to go. Jeddah up next. How are you feeling about that?
Jeddah is one of my favorite tracks to drive on. Can't say I've ever commentated for it. That's going to be a fun one. Yeah, I think Bevs said it perfect there. You make one mistake and your whole race is over. The walls are very, very close to Jeddah. Overtaking isn't super easy, but it is a very high-speed track. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and definitely expect at least one safety car.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a fantastic week of racing, and Jeddah is going to be very interesting. It's a track which is going to go back to full quali, so these guys are going to get a massive opportunity with the toe. Turn 1 is very interesting. Turn 2 is very interesting. The whole of Sector 1 is basically interesting. It's basically the start of your lap. If you do not get that right, then you are going to struggle. Congratulations on everyone tonight, all the podium winners. I do apologise. I said Bevs won the race. He didn't. He finished P2. Limitless took out the win. A great win from him. Massive points for Red Bull. Great win for him. Bevs taking P2. And Roller taking P3. So McLaren will be over the moon with that P2 and P3. More points for them, the constructors. Yuki Bear, the guy that is fighting Mr. Bevs at the moment for that championship, finishing in P5. Very impressive performance from him. He did it again last week and he's done it again this week. Will he be able to do the same next week? That will be the question. It's going to be a tough one. I've got some big news to say as well, because now we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. Yep, there we go. I just got some news there. So there we go. I'm just trying to remember what I was going to say there. Big up to all of our followers as well tonight. Momenzi, Beaky Gaming, Tash B, It's Toddy. We had also Twiz Garaf off, and then Silver Leo, Smile, Now Keep Smiling, D, FKHJ, VWS Seca, FJ Guy, that's a very, very long name with loads of words. Ishmael, Frankenstein, Jessica Riley, MFUU, Stixie01, a lot of people following in. Really, really good to see. Let's see if we can try and get to 2,000 followers by the end of this season. There is not long to go. We've got 3 weeks remaining for Division 2, 4, 3, 5, and 6, and 1 more week of Division 1. So let's try and get as many followers as we can till the end of the season. Big up to our main sponsor, AO369. Feel free to check them out in the comments. Also, big up to the rest of our sponsors as well, Pagni and SimLab and Speed Nation. Rekus, once again, mate, thank you very much for jumping in the comments box once again for an Enduro, and the last Enduro of the season for Division 2.
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun to be here, so thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Love the commitment and dedication as always. More racing tomorrow with Division 5. You'll see me on track going around my home track, and we'll see how we go, and we'll see how the other 2 comms will go tomorrow night as well. And as always, leave you a quote before I go. Limitless, the 8th winner in Division 2. And you can't believe it, but he is. He is the 8th winner. He took the win out tonight. Great night for him. And he is the 8th winner of Silverstone. And we will see you next week at Jeddah. But until then, we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.